speaker is Matthew Devon. An extraordinary, ordinary story. An extraordinary, ordinary story. Matthew Devon.
Last year, my 3-year-old Amelia asks me, "Dada, why do people die?" Why is hard. Instead, I think about a more practical question. What do we do differently knowing that people die? First, I think about my parents. When they died, I felt profound pain and sadness. This does not feel like the right message for a 3-year-old. So I keep thinking. After my mom died, I appreciated my dad more. One time my dad said to me, "Matt, there's a duck living in my apartment." I spent hours explaining to my dad that ducks do not live in apartments. Then, while sitting with my dad one day, I had an epiphany. I called his new iPhone. Quack, quack! The duck was his new ringtone. He just didn't know it. I just smiled. I didn't have much time left with my dad. But I didn't fully appreciate younger people, like my wife. I focused on me, my work, my health, my projects. I thought we had decades left together. That all changed when our daughter was born. August 23rd, 2019, 2 a.m. I'm asleep. Someone starts attacking me in bed. Oh wait, it's just my pregnant wife waking me up. The contractions started. Meanwhile, she's been cleaning. She doesn't want to come home from the hospital to a dirty house. At the hospital, we go into the operating room for a C-section. Minutes later, we have our first daughter, Amelia. Then I notice my wife's face is gray. The doctor says, "Get her blood count, stat!" They rush my wife back to the OR. Feed my daughter her first bottle of milk. Amelia seems happy, even though she's lactose intolerant. Then I notice a young lady sprinting back and forth down the hallway. "Who's that?" I asked the nurse. "Blood runner." Blood runner? I feel like someone punched me in the gut. Have you ever lost someone before you fully appreciated what you had? That's what I felt was about to happen with my wife. An hour later, the doctor comes in and says, "Your wife lost 8 pints of blood. But good news, pregnant women have a lot more blood." They repaired the blood vessel they cut. My wife was fine. After that, I knew I needed to appreciate her more. But I didn't know exactly how. I'm an engineer. I read a dozen books. I learned to appreciate my wife and my new daughter in small ways. I take my daughter Amelia to parks to give my wife time to rest, work out, or sometimes she just cleans in what she calls beautiful silence. At the park one day, I watched Amelia master riding the zip line at just 2 years old. And then afterward in the car, she asked me, "Dada, why are you so old?" Then when my wife first mastered cooking salmon, I told her it was restaurant quality. She told me she'd like me to cook more often. These were more quacking duck moments, extraordinary, ordinary memories. I hunt for moments like this. I scan for opportunities to connect deeply. Many days I failed, but I bagged more ducks than before. After a few years of this, I felt like I changed, but I wasn't sure. Engineers like to run tests. How would I design an experiment to know if I changed? We had another baby. May 22nd, 2023, 8 a.m. We go to the exact same hospital. In the operating room, I hold my wife's hand. I'm sweating. My hands are clammy. My face turns whiter than it already is. The nurse says, "Are you okay?" I'm fine. It's just this gown. The nurse says, "Do you want to sit down?" I was already sitting down. They make me sit on the OR floor and take my photo. Then the surgeon vacuums out our daughter Maeve's head and says, "My, what a big head you have. You have a beautiful baby girl." While sitting on that OR floor, I knew I didn't take my wife for granted. I had evidence. A picture, sweat stains, and beautiful memories. Besides these extraordinary life events, I had an extraordinary feeling from noticing all the ordinary wonder all around us every day. Like a child at the park, or a great meal with family. Which brings me back to, why do people die? One day I'll tell my daughters they have to answer that question themselves. And I'll tell them, people don't die so we appreciate them more. But still, we can. Friends, hunt for opportunities to appreciate your people. Never take for granted your own quacking ducks. Create extraordinary, ordinary memories. Contest chairman.